All right, let's jump right in. There is a huge reinvention happening across the entire workplace, and it's all being powered by AI. We're going to break down how AI isn't just tweaking a few things, it's completely rewriting the rules for how we manage people. And look, this isn't some guess about the distant future. This is what the C-suite is thinking right now, according to Gartner. A huge chunk of CEOs, 62%, see AI as the defining force of our time. And when the folks at the very top are that convinced, you know a massive shift is already happening. Which, of course, leads to the big question. If AI is the engine powering this new era, who's in charge of making sure the crew, the actual human beings, are ready for the ride? Well, that's where human resources comes in, but it's probably not the HR you're used to.
Yeah, this isn't some gentle wave of change we're talking about. It's more like a tsunami, and it's hitting the world of work as we speak, with HR right in the middle of it all, trying to navigate the entire company through the storm.
Now check this out, because what's incredible here is just the raw speed of this change. These numbers from Gartner are pretty wild. Back in June of 2023, only about 19% of HR leaders were even planning to use generative AI. Fast forward to January 2025, and that number is projected to jump to 61%. That is a threefold increase in just over a year and a half. This isn't a slow burn, it's an explosion. So here's the main takeaway. We're not just talking about adding a few new AI tools to the mix. Nope. This is a fundamental teardown and rebuild of the entire HR operating model. The old playbook, it's pretty much obsolete. The best way to think about it is like getting a major operating system upgrade for your phone or computer. You're not just adding a new app, you're changing how everything works together from the ground up. It's designed to be faster, smarter, more integrated. That's exactly what this AI-infused model means for managing people. And this slide just lays it out perfectly. On the left, you've got the old way. HR focused on manual tasks, paperwork, transactions, things done by people. But on the right, you see the new AI-infused model. The whole focus shifts from just getting tasks done to big picture strategy. It's all about building systems where humans and machines work together, letting AI handle the routine stuff so people can tackle the more important creative work. So, with all these new systems and new ways of working, it only makes sense that we're going to need new skills and, in some cases, entirely new jobs. So let's meet a few of the new faces on this AI-powered HR team. First up, you've got the HR technologist. Think of this person as the ultimate translator. They need to speak HR, they need to speak AI geek, and they need to speak business strategy. Their whole job is to make sure that some cool new AI tool is actually solving a real-world problem and doing it in a way that's both effective and ethical. It's a crucial role. Next, we're seeing the evolution of a role many of us already know, the HR business partner. They're becoming what you'd call a strategic talent leader. See, once AI starts handling all the routine, day-to-day questions, this person gets to level up. They can focus on the really big questions, like what skills are we going to need in 5 years, and how on earth do we start building that workforce today? And finally, you've got the captain of the ship, the product leader for AI and HR. This person isn't just looking at one-off projects. They own the entire AI game plan for the whole HR department. They're the strategist making sure everything HR does with AI actually connects back to the company's bigger vision. Okay, I know what you're probably thinking. These new roles are cool and all, but what about my job? What does all this automation really mean for job security? Let's get right into it. So, according to Gartner, HR leaders think that by 2025, about 37% of the workforce will be impacted by generative AI in some way. And yeah, that's a big number. It's totally natural to see that and feel a little uneasy. But hold on, because here's the other side of that coin. The very same research predicts that overall, there will be no net job loss globally through 2026. Let me say that again, no net loss. So this story isn't about mass replacement. It's about transformation. And if we look even further down the road, the picture gets even more interesting. By 2036, Gartner projects that AI will have actually helped create over 500 million, that's billion with a B, net new jobs for humans. So, you see, the real story of AI is about evolution, not extinction. So here's the bottom line. The real shift is about augmentation, not replacement. First, AI takes over the routine, kind of boring parts of our jobs. That in turn frees us up and leads to our jobs being redesigned. They become broader, they require more skills, and finally, entirely new, super specialized jobs start to pop up that we can't even really imagine today. And the next big thing in this whole human-AI partnership is the rise of something called AI agents. The simple way to think of them is like little semi-autonomous software programs that can understand their environment, make decisions, and actually take action to get things done for you.
But before you start picturing something out of a sci-fi movie, let's look at the reality. This Gartner data shows that while a good chunk, 44%, of HR leaders are planning to use semi-autonomous agents, which means they're supervised by humans, only a tiny 2% are even thinking about fully autonomous ones. So the approach here is definitely cautious, collaborative, and human in the loop.
So how do you actually get ready for this? Well, Gartner lays out a pretty clear roadmap. You start by figuring out the opportunities and the risks. Then you pick a few high-value projects to test out. This next one is critical. You have to build AI literacy for everyone. And then you start actively designing new ways of working, where people and AI agents are a team, working together to get a better result. And that really brings us to the final, most important thought. The conversation we really need to be having isn't the fearful one, will AI replace us? It's a much more creative and strategic one. Are we actively designing a future of work where humans and AI can deliver more value together? Because that right there is the real challenge and the greatest opportunity. That's the great reinvention.